With all the attention on gold and, more recently, silver, platinum is left behind somewhat. But we should start paying attention to it, and I do on this channel, but I want to bring it to your attention that we very well could see a bull run of epic proportions for platinum. But there is only cautious optimism here, and I'll explain why. Platinum's prices could go parabolic, or it could just be that they go hyperbolic. I'll explain the difference in this video as we explore. That's why this channel is called Salivate Metal and not Salivate Silver or Gold or any other asset class, because I believe it's good to look at all different metals, precious metals, but even some base metals can get pretty exciting from time to time in terms of their price movement and just their physical properties. I have a whole playlist about pretty much all the metals that are tracked as commodities called Why I Love. I hope you will check that out. But nonetheless, we're talking about platinum here, and its price has really rocketed up here recently, and some feel that this is just the beginning. However, I want to expose some cautious optimism here, because I have been pretty bullish on platinum for a long time, and before this latest run-up, well, I got a little bit discouraged and expressed as such in a video. But nonetheless, even in that video, I figured, it was going to come along sooner or later, just didn't know exactly when, and I didn't know exactly what it would mean. But platinum is such a tiny market, it is really a rare precious metal. To some extent, it may be too rare for its own good. It's about 15 times more rare than gold. But I'm going to be referencing a couple of pieces here that give a little bit of balance from one view to another. We see that platinum, like silver, has been running in deficits, and but more so, hasn't been enough to keep platinum and palladium prices from scrapping along deep into the cost curve over the past couple of years. A massive reversal of fortune from the early days of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, when concerns about Russia's control of the palladium market sent prices soaring. But a number of analysts and fund managers have kept tabs on the commodities known as the platinum group metals, principally platinum, palladium, and rhodium in recent months, with prices well below the cost base of most miners in South Africa, which is the world's top producer by a wide margin. It seemed logical that something would have to give. These metals have dual uses. They are, like gold and silver, precious metals purchased for investments and crafted into jewelry, but their key demand factor, by a long shot, is from catalytic converters that reduce emissions from internal combustion engine and hybrid motor vehicles. Car makers have been able to rely on stockpiles as prices have tumbled, but supply-demand metrics are turning increasingly in favor of miners. The World Platinum Investment Council said in May that supply this year would fall to about 4%, to about 7 million ounces, delivering a platinum deficit of 966,000 ounces. That's almost 1 million ounces, a number that's expanded by 115,000 from forecast just 3 months ago. That's a big deal considering how rare it is when we see that small of a margin. By the way, stay tuned, because later in the video I'm going to show you my newest platinum edition that just came in, and you're not going to want to miss that. Supply will drop to a 5-year low, leading to a third straight year of deficits. Now the worm could well be turning for the price. And the platinum price has jumped up around at least 15% in the last month or so. It's gone from about the mid-$900 range to just over $1,200. In fact, earlier, just a day or so ago, it went up to over $1,300. In fact, in the last day, it went up to $1,314. It is now scaled back, down over 5%, and this is, I think, due to the latest geopolitical events in Iran. But nonetheless, that is what we're seeing now. At its highest point in 4 years is where platinum is now. They have surged to more than 30% now, year to gain. And palladium has also followed, but it is still struggling to stay above $1,000 right now. So platinum is the metal to kind of watch here now. 2025 has been the year of the hybrid. The demand from AutoCats for PGMs has been stronger than expected, but also there's been a lot of investment demand for platinum, and that's what's really pushed the price in the last month or two. In fact, we're seeing reports of activity happening in the sector with movements of ETF holdings and the like that have really put some signs that we can continue to see the price move upward. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And so we see this happening, and we're going to get some good market moves in the price. And that's translated massively into Southern Palladium share price, which got down to around 20 cents, and now it's up to 50 cents. And again, a lot of these metals have kind of worked together and moved together, but it's a little secret that platinum sector is crying out for some fresh blood, with historic operations facing cost escalation and declining grade. Deficits are projected until the end of the forecast period for 2029. According to South Africa's mining industry, the engine room for the platinum market was the sunset industry, an historic mining mecca. It's become increasingly difficult to operate there as public infrastructure fails. Infrastructure has been an issue for a number of years in South Africa. A number of producers in the PGM industry are loss-making, but only motivated to stay open by their social license and government pressure. A number of the shafts of platinum group metals in the Bushveld in South Africa are actually well and truly uneconomic at the moment, arguably being kept open for non-economic reasons to maintain employment. So at some point, unless there's a dramatic shift in the price, these shafts are going to have to close, or you're going to see a very big change in price. That's probably more likely because it will address supply-demand deficit. So I think in either way, it's likely that the price is going to keep going up. And that almost assures it. But nonetheless, there's another view on this too. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about this idea of a platinum squeeze and by the London platinum market, which indicates here from a piece from David Jensen. On June the 11th, metals analyst Rob Wedgetailed reports that the 1 month implied lease rate in London has hit 24.5% for platinum. This lease rate indicates the potential onset of a squeeze for physical platinum in London. At the same time, June 11th, 2025, platinum trading volume in the CME COMEX market has hit a new all-time high of 86,717 contracts, which are in 50 ounces each. And so that's a contract size, 50 ounces for platinum. It's pretty amazing. So that is where that is. The London Platinum and Palladium market publishes even less data than the London Bullion Market Association for gold and silver. We can only guess as to how much platinum resides in London vaults. We can see that the high and rising lease rates, that there's increasingly not an adequate amount of platinum available for delivery in London. So we see more of that happening. It's going to put more pressure. But then there's another thing about platinum is what other analysts think of it. Goldman Sachs is not optimistic on platinum. It's always good to look at the other side as well, too. On May the 20th, after breaking through a trading range that lasted for a decade, platinum experienced a significant market surge, reaching a 4-year high of $1,280 per ounce. Goldman Sachs has recently warned that this speculative frenzy is unlikely to last. On June the 12th, according to news from the Wind Trading Desk, Goldman Sachs pointed out in its latest research that speculative and ETF demand has become the main driving force behind platinum's rise to 1280, rather than fundamental improvements. Once the speculative enthusiasm wanes, a price correction would be inevitable. Now, I don't think today's price correction, as of the recording of this video, is that move. But it is likely it is a possibility. We've seen this happen before. Analysts Lena Thomas and Don Striving clearly stated in the report 3 major factors. Price sensitivity of Chinese buyers, and that's one of the reasons why the prices have gone up, as I have reported in the past. structural decline in automotive demand, and stable growth in global supply will lead platinum prices back to their original trading range. And over the past 10 years, platinum prices have been trapped in the range between $800 and $1,150 per ounce. On May the 20th, an optimistic report released by the World Platinum Investment Council triggered a breakthrough surge in platinum prices. They predicted a supply gap of about 1 million ounces, equivalent to nearly 20% of annual mineral production. So this could be the hyperbolic reaction that we see out of platinum. In other words, prices normalizing back to these levels as we get to over hype them. And so we want to be very, very careful about that here on this channel. It is a possibility. I am overall bullish on platinum, but I think if we get back into that range, I think likely that range is going to be higher, like in the $1,000, maybe $1,100 range. I think we're done with $800 platinum now. I really do. I would be shocked if it went back down that low. However, there could be some truth to this. With the influx of speculative funds and the warming demand for ETFs, platinum prices soared, nearing their 4-time high. And the Chinese market is something that we need to keep an eye on. Goldman Sachs stated that the Chinese market accounts for about 60% of the global new platinum production, and its buyers exhibit a higher degree of price sensitivity, buying heavily when prices are low and quickly withdrawing when prices are high. Could that be part of what's happening now? With literally the prices are down 5% as I record this video. I don't know, but it could be a part of it. Data show that nearly 50% of China's platinum imports are driven by price-sensitive jewelry and investment demand. After the price drop following the so-called reciprocal tariffs in April, the extraction volume of platinum on the Shanghai Gold Exchange increased, which is an important indicator of Chinese jewelry and investment demand, leading to a significant number increase in China's platinum imports that month. But the price rebound that began in mid-May has suppressed Chinese jewelry and investment demand, confirming the price sensitivity of Chinese buyers. Well, so far, it was only until extremely recently we have seen any kind of correction. And of course, the automotive demand, a lot of people say, yes, there's growing hybrid vehicles out there, and how much are they going to need for it? But what about electric vehicles that are continuing to increase? You're not going to see as much demand for platinum for that. So we'll see how it plays out. The automotive industry analysts expect that the scale of gasoline vehicles in China has peaked, which will structurally suppress the demand for platinum and automotive catalysts there. In Western markets, the scale of gasoline and hybrid vehicle fleets is expected to remain relatively stable, which will not have a significant positive impact on platinum's balance, as Goldman Sachs stated in the report. And also with the new executive order signed by Trump, and there is now no longer a mandate in California to go completely to electric vehicles. So see how that plays out. Well, here's the latest platinum edition that I got. It is high premium platinum, but this is a piece that I've been wanting for a long time. It is the Wedgetailed Eagle in platinum. Now I have it in silver, platinum, and gold. And this is the proof variety. And this thing is very hard to come by. I think they have a limited mentions of 500, so I did pay a premium for it. But nonetheless, there it is, adding to the collection here. And you never know. I mean, with the price surge that we've seen recently, well, the amount I paid for it is much easier to digest compared to what it would have been before. So there you have it, Wedgetailed Platinum Eagle. And with that, I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video. It's important to pay attention to platinum. And if you don't have any, well, I can understand your resistance to wanting to get some, but it is an amazing metal. I really like it a lot. And I have a full stack of it. I'll link to it at the end screen of this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.